appropriate the mood. I was telling everyone, I've been saying this for a while, that we're in a particular time in history that 100 years from now, they're going to mark this period as something is happening. We're living through it. I don't know if any of y'all got up this morning and realized that you are part of history. Now, the question is, are you going to be a part of it, or are you going to be a bystander? You're going to sit on the sides on the balcony like the Muppets and complain and bitch, or are you going to get involved because something is happening in this country? Where are we right now in your estimation, Dr. Carr?
On track. It was always a criminal enterprise. It was going to fall apart. We talk about that every week. I mean, Richard Kreitner, when he wrote the book Break It Up, he said a key theme in American history is not unity, it's secession. They've always been trying to get away from each other. The Pilgrims getting away from the British, the poor whites trying to get away from the rich whites in Virginia, the Catholics trying to get away from everybody in Maryland. And then since they started the United States, every time they go west, it's because you're trying to get away from somebody. Mm-hmm. It's not expansion. There's no central thing. Federalism has always been a negotiated thing, and it's come close to breaking just about every other generation. They broke once for real in the Civil War, and that's when we freed ourselves. And it took us 100 years to try to fight our way back into some concept of, not even back, into some way of citizenship. And it pissed off the people for whom they understand their central investment in this whole criminal enterprise is something that you can't count in money. What? Whiteness. Once we fought our way into citizenship, those people who only have whiteness to hold on to made a blood oath. And for 50 some years, they've been fighting to push us out of citizenship. So I'd say we're pretty much on track for what's ultimately going to happen to this little place. It's going to break up. It has to. It was set up to break up. That's all.
As you were watching yesterday, this is the Tennessee legislature basically booed out Justin Pearson and Justin Jones and keep Gloria Johnson. What went through your head?
Well, it's on Food Friday, so I was laughing the whole time. I was mad too, but I was laughing. I mean, how about this? Of the three of them, it's a white woman with a black name that gets preserved. So I mean, I guess
Glow Johnson.
Gloria Johnson from Knox County. I mean, people not watching might thought, well, it's three black people. No, good.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Of course, it's a black name. But I mean, I was angry because, white nationalists should make us angry. Anybody who wants to hold on to their whiteness, it should make us angry at the expense of everybody else. Tennessee won't expand Medicaid. Tennessee won't take federal dollars, and they take more of the federal dollars than they give. So we should be mad about that. But it was kind of funny too. And by funny, I mean funny in the ironic sense. I mean, these two brothers, Justin Jones out of Nashville. Well, he went to Fisk. He's from Oakland, as we know, the Bay Area. And the other young brother, Justin Pearson, this is Black Lives Matter kids. I mean, and young people. I want to say kids because you saw them being young people. I mean, now, if Justin Jones actually, is working on legislation and passing legislation, it's kind of a new development. His kind of claim to fame is being in front of the cameras. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is a generation that is finding its politics in social media and technology. Mm-hmm. So I'm not mad at him. Justin Pearson, who, is from Memphis, but he went to Bowdoin College. And I'm listening to his cadence and I'm like, do you talk like that in real life? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a spectacle going on like that, but he's a young man. We teach, we know. It's okay. Work it out. You wear your dashikis, I wear them. I mean, but let's be clear. Justin Pearson came into the legislature on 1,200 votes in a special election. And when they had the regular election, he won he got 443 votes. There are almost 69,000 people in his district. Justin Jones won an election. He beat the sister 1,931 votes to 1,690 votes. Delisha, I think her name is Rutherford. At any rate, and then he won the general election by 8,000 some votes. It's almost 64,000 people in his district. Nobody's voting. Watched them yesterday, and those hillbillies from East Tennessee went to East Tennessee State University, came after him, and they all say, you're violated decorum. Okay, fine. You know what the most powerful speech was that I heard was by the young brother who Jesse Chisholm, 43 years old. He went to Morehouse undergrad. And this is what he said. To me, it was very governance structure. Who are we to each other? He got up and said, you know what? This young man right here, talking about Justin Pearson, he said, me and him, we don't approach this the same way. We don't get down the same way. But what he said was, I have to speak to the humanity of everyone in this room, and you don't have the right to expel him. This is one black man, a Morehouse man, with his tie on, saying, me and this brother with the dashiki, We don't even have the same political approach. But you, white folk, don't have the right to expel him. That was a profound moment for me. And then that raises the question we have to ask ourselves. The one I'm gonna be up all night trying to figure out as we talk about it tomorrow, how do we build a we? Because most of the people that voted for those two were not there yesterday. Those white kids were the ones, March for Our Lives in the die-in. The people in North Nashville, where are the people in the hood? Why aren't they down there? I've led marches to the Tennessee legislature when I was at Tennessee State. We went down there and confronted white boys every day, but those people weren't there. There are class issues involved in this. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I mean, just a few initial thoughts on it.
So the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, is making her way there. She's we were gonna have Gloria Johnson on today. She canceled because she's with the Vice President. I was like, all right, no problem. I was thinking this in my head, but I'm gonna say it out loud. From the trip to Africa to being the one now showing up in Tennessee, is the baton being passed for the 2024 election to Kamala Harris? Do you think that Joe Biden is going to hand it off to her? Are they setting it up for that?
I don't know. Only because Black politicians, nationally known Black politicians, are proving increasingly tone deaf to rank and file Black people. Howard just rented Stacey Abrams' name. Pointed her to Ron W. Walters. I'm saying that because people confuse that. They think when you add somebody as an endowed chair in that form that they're going to be at the university. She's not going to be at the university. She's still staying in Atlanta. She's going to come give some lectures, pull some things together. But does Stacey Abrams excite the Black folk who are in the state of Georgia where they should have defeated Brian Kemp overwhelmingly? No, poor Black people saying these politicians don't matter. Kamala Harris, now I guess she is the race warrior. She's going to go down there. Well, Joe Biden missed his moment. You ain't never going to pull these poor whites back. The ones that are threatening the mayor of Memphis right now, saying if you appoint Justin Pearson, we're going to yank the money for your stadium. All this. These white boys are defending their Confederacy. Kamala Harris is not going to go down there and be Black power. She's going down there to take a picture. And I'll tell you what, these two kind of diminutive looking brothers on either side of this white woman from East Tennessee, I don't see where our politics are.
Oh, damn. Okay, that just took a turn. Lamont.
I kind of he worded it very well, but I agree. I don't see it as passing the baton. So just outwardly on the surface, what is she there to do? What does she show up and arrive as to do what? So it's at face value, it's optics. It's going to be optics.
Yes.
And as far as
what y'all both, while what you're saying is true, optics, that's what rules the country, right? So her going there now, she's down with the people, the Tennessee Three,
I gotta give you a little pushback on that. There's a generation who is so dialed in to optics by way of social media, they can see through when a play is being made and when it's a move. And I think particularly so for example, the two Justins yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. Who were they speaking to? One is doing a very great rendition of Uncle Marty, Dr. King. Great.
Yes.
The greatest rendition.
Stops.
I'm listening on talk radio. I'm like, was this at Sunday service?
But Come on.
Who are
his
you?
Daddy's
speaking?
A pastor,
No, that's all fair. It's all fair. This is not a knock.
No.
But who are you speaking to? So you're hearkening something that we're all familiar with. You're pulling from history, the cadence, the pain, the moan, the wail, it's showing passion, but you're speaking to your age and below, because those are the people who are going to see that clip. They're not even going to know the story, but they'll see the clip on their timeline. And that's where the activism and activation comes from. So when Vice President Harris shows up, it's like, why are you here? You're late. Unless you have an immediate fix when the wheels touch down on that plane, I don't believe you. There's a generation that looks at the Biden administration and looks at Kamala Harris's efforts, and it's like point blank, we don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
So I think
I think you're absolutely right. And I say this, but because I feel like the Democratic Party, they made a miscalculation. Joe Biden's only role was to beat Trump.
Facts.
At that point, they should have been grooming the next person to come and run in 2024, because that he is not. I don't want to say it out my mouth, but I already see what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Jesus, come on, y'all. And there's nothing I can do about it, because I'm sitting here and I know what's going to happen, Dr. Carr. And I'm like, maybe you keep saying the thing's going to break. That will break it for sure. But I don't want it to break. I don't want to go through 4 more years of a possible another pandemic, something else with somebody like DeSantis or Trump at the helm, or even Nikki motherfucking Haley or anybody else. It could be Tim Scott. I don't give a damn. Their policies are anti-human. And so I'm like, damn, I got to vote for the binary choice here. There's only 2 choices because the Democratic Party is not mature enough to realize the time that we're in, and Joe Biden may not be the answer to get us.
That's right.
4 more years. Like,
that's right.
So I'm frustrated.
And she's been in the house for easily 6 months, like from Christmas to Ghana. You
Christmas
did not
to Ghana.
From Christmas to her showing up in Ghana, you didn't even know that she was going.
Well, that's because they got terrible PR. I mean, she's been out there. I mean, she just did something around solar panels and engines. I mean, she's pushing. But I don't have, to your point, first of all, the constituency, they simply won't lean into the constituency, these young people. Now, you got the Republicans are saying, yeah, we got to do something about these young people trying to snatch the polling places. But the fact of the matter is they don't know how to talk to young people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so what you're saying is very important. Meanwhile, the party apparatus, and hearing God bless our friend Jamie, and you've given him the business, and rightfully so, because what are y'all doing? The Tennessee Democratic Party, have they said anything? I mean, I'm saying Joe Biden should have come on TV last night. Aren't you
right.
of the party? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Harris, you're right. I mean, like I said, I ain't gonna sing, but it's Alexander O'Neal, you are fake, baby. When she comes in there, it's like we done seen this before.
They always talk about how a word of condemnation goes far, right? Whenever you associate with somebody, or whenever you do something wrong, they want that apology, or to say that all you had to do was last night, Tennessee, this was not good.
That's all you had.
And then go about your business and put the game back on. This was not good. I frown on this. Just some TNP. He could have thoughts and prayed it up.
No, he can't do it because he still thinks he'll get them 3 toothless white voters in Mississippi that toupee wearing governor his route playing toward with his Confederate Heritage Month. They still think they chasing these poor whites. I'm gonna tell you right now, if we did 4 years of a president from the Republicans that isn't Trump, which frankly, as you covered and talked about earlier in the week, the voters of Wisconsin may have saved us from by making sure that they can't steal another election in Wisconsin. There are worse things. There are worse things. I mean, I don't know that it would fall apart in the next 4 years, but I tell you what, 4 years from now, when you may have a Governor Westmore in this thing, it could be that this is for a real change.
Listen. I mean, and the Wisconsin Supreme Court, they're looking to maybe oust Miss Janet Prost.
Yes, yeah, that's it. That was it.
Yep, they try to impeach her already. She just got in. They want to impeach. I mean, we're in some strange times. We are in some time right now, and I'm glad to be alive because I'm here. I'm built to fight, and so let's go.